Hey, welcome back to Torah Project. In this teaching, I want to, not really a teaching, it's just more talking, but I want to discuss fringes, tzitzit. Um, Man, I come across a lot of people with all kinds of uh, different ways to put them on. They're different in looking, different tying, uh, you know, from just the blue cord to blue and white, camo with a blue cord, all that stuff. Let's talk about it. Um, Numbers 15. Tell the children of Israel that they should wear fringes, tzitzit, on the four corners of their garments to remember all the commandments of Yehovah and to do them and to not go following after their own hearts. So I hear a lot of things in the Hebrew roots movement of, I just don't like that term, Hebrew roots movement, but just people trying to follow the way of a man should wear them on a four-cornered garment. He shouldn't put them on his belt loops. He shouldn't put them on his belt. Some people, I have myself, have cut a slit down a t-shirt or something on the side there and made a couple holes on each side just to have a four-cornered garment. I've put them on my belt loops. I've had a four-cornered garment of linen. I've had a four-cornered garment of different material. I've done it. But man, ultimately, I think the thing that really captures the heart of the Lord is keeping God's commands, wearing something that reminds you to do the things that He desires for you to do. Many of you are going to disagree and throw stones at me and say, what? He doesn't want us to wear fringes? Yehovah told us to wear fringes. I'm not saying that. I'm saying that if a man wants to wear it on his belt loop, if a man wants to wear it on his belt, if a man wants to wear a four-cornered garment or not wear a four-cornered garment and wear fringes, if a man wants to cut a little slit on the side of his t-shirt or whatever he wants to do, the principle is that man desires to keep the commands of God. And if it helps him to keep the commands of God, then you should help him do that and not stray him away. I can't believe he put that on his belt loop. Can you believe that? Well, he's new in the Torah. Or, yeah, that guy's so stringent. He just wears a four-cornered garment. So maybe he must be Jewish or something. Let's move on from those things. If a man wants to wear a bracelet, something on his hand, and it has a fringe on it, or if the guy wants to wear a necklace that reminds him to keep God's commands, or if a woman wants to wear an earring to remind her to keep God's commands, let them do that. Why do we have to have an opinion on everybody's observance of the Torah? I don't understand. I don't know. I think maybe it might be even culturally, as Americans, we just need to have an opinion for everybody else's life. I'm not really sure if that's culturally an aspect that other people kind of struggle with or other cultures struggle with, but it certainly is something that we struggle with as Americans. But, my point in saying it is, if a man or a woman, because I don't think that, this is kind of go back to some of the struggles that our groups kind of go after too, is, should a woman wear it? Of course a woman should wear it, to remember that she needs to keep the commands of Yehovah. Just because it says Bnei Israel in it doesn't mean that it's specifically just only regarding men. A woman's heart can go astray just as quick as a man's heart does. The principle of the command is not so stringently to wear a four-cornered garment, but to specifically wear something that remembers that you remember to keep the commands of our Father. Let that be tied around our hearts. Let us wear it, like Proverbs says, around a necklace. Let us bind it around our hands to remember the commands of Yehovah. And do not stop being so contentious about the small things that don't make really any kind of, headway into anywhere that you're trying to reach. It just sets you back further from reaching an understanding of what God desires and what God deems as something that is righteous and holy and good and true. Let us, kind of like I said this in my last video on the calendar, let us provoke one another to love, guys. Let's put down this contentiousness of Tzitzit and the feast of Yehovah, and we're just dividing over these things instead of coming together and celebrating the salvation of Yehovah, celebrating the wonderful loving kindness that God has given us in His Word. We have His Word. Let us rejoice in His Word and stop. Let's put down these things and put on righteousness and humility and love towards one another, towards our brothers. Anyways, I hope this helps. I'll be making a bunch of YouTube videos again and post them on Facebook. So hit me up. Shalom in Yeshua's name.